What's going on, guys? Ryan here with Sinister Gaming. I just wanted to showcase some of the Chimera Fiendsmith combos. Since you guys have been requesting it in the comments from that last profile. Thanks for the 1,000+ views in a couple days, by the way. Really appreciate that support. I'm gonna preface this by saying a lot of these combos are kind of variable. There's different ways of starting them. For example, like I can show lines where in a sense, like you might get baited, like let's say like you normal summoned a gazelle or something and it got stopped, but you have like Fiendsmith Engraver in hand, or like one or the other. So you kind of can just play along those lines. But yeah, most of these are going to be like 1 to 2 card combos, 1.5, and I'll just show a couple of the main ones that I've been using. I know there's plenty out there. You know, go check out other creators and stuff too. But I'll just show you the ones that I have personally been using in this deck. So I'm going to showcase for the first combo, it's just going to be opening an engraver, and then you also just need a blank card in hand to discard at the end of the combo. So I'm just going to set this here. And just so we know that we have a blank card in hand to discard, and you essentially start with engraver effect, and you're going to add your tract, and the tract is going to add Lurie, of course, and Lurie will be discarded and special summon itself. Then you're going to link it away for a Requiem. You're going to use Requiem's effect, and you're going to go ahead and actually grab the second engraver. So that'll leave us with both engravers out. And then we can go ahead and shuffle the Lurie. So I'm just gonna put this back in deck and summon. And like I mentioned here, if you had Gazelle or something, you know, you could just stop right here and make DDD, so because your plays are most likely gonna be safe if you have the fusion material requirements. But let's say you don't have engine at all. So what next you're gonna do is go Requiem effect, or to equip to an engraver, and then from here you're gonna make Necroquip. So that leaves us with the 2, and then we're actually gonna link these away for a sequence. And the sequence is gonna use its effect. So right now we have these monsters engraved. We're actually going to shuffle a Requiem and an engraver. That way we have the next one for the following turn to shuffle back a Light Fiend when we get to there with this sequence. So these will get shuffled back. And we're going to summon the monster I told you guys was like the bridge in the profile. Well, I guess, yeah, he's the connection, and then everything else is like the bridge, what he dumps. So he actually dumps the big wing from it because it dumps any fiend. And then from here, we link away and we make Muckracker. So as you can see, now we still have the light fiend to shuffle back with the engraver on the follow-up turn. So we can pretty much restart our engine and get like DDD High King Wave Caesar there. And yeah, from here, we have the Muckracker, and the Muckracker needs to discard 1 to reborn. So as I mentioned earlier, we have the 1 card in hand to discard, so we can just go ahead and pitch that. And we get our Big Wing Baphomet, which now we have access to our engine. So you can activate the effect on summon and go ahead and grab yourself the Chimera Fusion and a Gazelle. So we are Fiend Lock at this point, so the combo could end right here, possibly if you want. Or let's say you already normal summon, you know, it kind of has to end here. But if it doesn't, you can keep going. And you can either make this on your turn, so I'll just play that out. Keep in mind again, if you already normal summon, you can't really do much beyond this. And you're locked into fiends and fusions. So you have to be pretty mindful. Pretty much you can only bring this out, and then where you're getting the most value is actually on the interruptions on your opponent's turn, or like you're gonna get the follow-up in a way on your opponent's turn too. So you can go ahead and fuse these. I fuse the Muckracker and the Big Wing, and the sorry, the Gazelle to make a mythical Berthomet. So from here we're gonna resolve Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, because by then they would have already been hashed by now, so it doesn't really matter the chain order. But if you want to play around Ghost Ogre, then you can do the opposite. So we get the search. I like to search for Mirror Sword Knight because it synergizes with this. You can also grab this if you're playing against a runic matchup or something, because you're going to reborn. You're gonna get the reborn off of this because you're gonna fuse it away essentially as like the first action that you get as the non-turn player. So your opponent gets to do something first, and then you can like play pretty much. So we maybe not be able to make a Guardian Chimera to get value out of it. So you might have to make like a Magnum Reliever or something and only discard one of these. So yeah, you could end up going like effect to dump this and add this off of this. So right here, and then we go ahead and grab our fusion back. So this is pretty much the end result of our turn. We'll have the Chimera. We have an active Guardian Chimera play with 1 negate prior. And like I said, if not, then you can always just get follow-up. And then, yeah, you pretty much, you're not gonna be able to utilize this with just an engraver, but in other combos you can. So I'd say this is not bad. It's usually good enough to win the game, especially if you have to play through interruptions. Next, I'm going to showcase a line that actually opens a standard Apprentice plus the Edgem chain. So you're going to see this kind of often, or at least with Patchwork you might get this pretty often. So you go effects, discard, to special, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. You go ahead and grab your Patchwork, and then you can go ahead and grab a Cornfield here. From here, they would have already trolled you, so you can, we're not going to play around any hand traps. We're just going to try to get our maximum value here. We're going to add another copy of Edgem, and then you're also going to get a Polymerization in hand. So we're looking pretty good so far. So you can go ahead and activate the Cornfield effect to grab your Gazelle. And then the Gazelle is going to be normal summoned, get its effect to get yourself a copy of Chimera Fusion. So far we have 3 cards in hand plus the Gazelle and the Nightmare Apprentice. And then from here we can go ahead and activate our Poly. We can end up saving this for later. And then we bring out our Chimera King. This will be Chainlink 1, this will be Chainlink 2. And you're gonna go ahead and search. At this point, you pretty much have to choose between these two. So I'm gonna go for the Diabels here. We're actually gonna end up linking these away. And this is how we're gonna access our Fiendsmith engine. So we can have the moon here. We're gonna quickly link that away for our Requiem, and also link that and send that by tributing to summon the engraver. And pretty reminiscent of the last one. And then we will just activate the Requiem, go ahead and do our Necrocrypt line. I do not know why they even made this card, it's so broken. But yeah, there we go. Go ahead and bring out the engraver. You can shuffle back the Closed Moon for this one, or the Requiem, but I like to just do the Closed Moon. So that's High King Wave Caesar if you have like an additional monster to work with off of Poly. But if you, let's say you don't, then you would just resume that line that I did previously. So instead of the High King Wave Caesar, you would essentially make the sequence. And then sequence effect, shuffling back an engraver and the Requiem. And yeah, we're just kind of repeating the same redundant line with this. And then dumping the big wing Berfomet. Bringing out the Muckracker. And this time, you know, obviously we didn't have a card to discard in the start with this one. We can actually discard the Chimera Fusion here. And then just go ahead and bring out the big wing Berfomet here. Triggering that, and I'll add you a second Chimera Fusion. And then I'll also add you the Gazelle. And then since we do have the king in the grave, we can actually add this one back. So you actually end up with quite a bit more with this line. And I'm sure there's more that people can come up with for this, but that's typically how I've been kind of playing this type of line. Especially like game one or like against a deck I know is not playing Nibiru. I'll just make that. Alright, this next combo involves Gazelle plus Mirror Sword Knight. It's gonna happen pretty often where you don't have like those power cards like the ones I previously showed. But it's still gonna be a really effective combo here. So we're gonna start by normaling and just getting our search for the fusion. And we're just gonna quickly fuse these away. And we're gonna make this the Mythical King. It's gonna be Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, or the reverse depending on if you're trying to play around Ash or Ogre, whichever is gonna hurt you more. And we're gonna add this and then dump this. We can go ahead and add this right away just in case. I usually like to add it as soon as possible. So go ahead and add this back to your hand. We're not gonna use this effect yet. We're actually gonna go for our Necron, which gives us access to our Fiendsmith line, which is why we're playing the evil heroes. So the Dusted Gold is Light Fiend, so you can go ahead and link that away. And you can make the Requiem here. And the Requiem is gonna tribute itself to summon the first Engraver. And then similarly, you know, we're gonna start our Necroquip line. And then here's a really good spot to actually activate your Kotal, because you're gonna activate it. You're gonna search the big wing Berfomet, and then you can draw one here now, because this will let you draw if you activate a monster effect in the hand and you have to send it to the grave or discard it. So you know, you can get the draw from here, so you'll actually end with a +1 on top of that, which you can use to further your Muckracker route, which we're going to do in this one. So now we can actually use the Engraver effect, shuffling back the Requiem. And right now, you know, we have the 2 negates set up already. So you can go DDD here, or you can make your sequence. And then we can go sequence effect. And what's a little different is we're gonna chain this to fuse. So we'll send this and send the sequence. And we're actually gonna bring out the Magnum the Reliever. And we're gonna resolve our sequence to fuse, shuffling back this and the Dusted Gold. So that's back in deck. And then we'll actually bring out the Aerial Leader again. If you were going second, you can actually pop like immediately here, but we're not, so we're just gonna dump right here to send a Fiend. You can just go ahead and send an Engraver, the second copy. So now that you have 2, you can actually banish to Reborn if you send this to the grave. So it's pretty cool having access to that. And this is also gonna Reborn the Mirror Sword Knight for follow-up. So at this point, we have these 4 bodies. We're not locked into anything. And yeah, we have follow-up already here, but we can actually shuffle this back to draw another blank. So I'll just have it there. So we actually got 2 extra cards. And then we can actually link either this away and this away, or sorry, this away and this away, or this and this. Pretty much always the Aerial Leader and one other. For this, I'll just do these 2 guys. and then we'll make the Muckracker. Since we're not locked in anything, we can go ahead and activate the effect. Special. This back. Then add 2 again. You know, kind of like what we've been doing quite a bit. It's almost like you get the most value off of a Muckracker effect. So we already have like 4 cards in hand, plus a good amount of follow-up off of this and this. And then you can go ahead and special this by banishing this and 1 engraver. 1 engraver is all you really need for the rest of the follow-up. And then you can either make you can actually make the DDD here. So this is probably like the best combo, honestly. And then, yeah, on your opponent's turn, you're gonna get the effect to get the second big wing, which is gonna add you another 2. And then on top of that, you can also make the Mythical King, and the Mythical King can dump this. So when you fuse on the one of these away, you pretty much can reborn this. So it's like, this is probably like the nastiest of all of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the third combo. This isn't really going to be a combo, but I just wanted to showcase like what a typical hand could also look like. Essentially, this is going to equal the same thing as the previous turn or the previous combo. However, instead of dumping the Necron, you actually can dump the Diabells here. It's pretty much just whatever you value more. In my instance, I like the value from the Engraver engine a little bit more than this right now, because this is only works, I mean, it's a good interruption, but having the DDD High King Wave Caesar backed up with all those other cards is just really, really broken. So this is essentially going to give you the same combo, but in addition to this. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, a lot of these combos variate. I was showing pretty much like how to get the most value off of a few cards, but in normal setting, you're gonna have at least like 2 to 3 other monsters to play with, so you can kind of not rely on the Muckracker as much, or just kind of go straight into DDD. Maybe even you can get access to your Diabells a little bit sooner. Maybe you open it. You know, Foolish Burial can also get you there. But yeah, the lines are very dependent on your opening 5 cards, of course. But you know, this video is mainly to showcase what you can do with you know, a couple, trying to get the most value of your cards. You know, if you're trying to play around Nibiru and stuff, this might not be the route. But in this day and age, it's probably best just to go full all out, at least in game 1, especially against like Tempai and stuff, because the DT High King Wave Caesar is just really going to put in work there. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If there were any changes I can make to the combos, please let me know down below. And if you have any other ones to share, you know, I'm sure there's like so many different types of lines to go with, but you know, as I've been saying, it's pretty much just dependent on how your playstyle is going to be. And don't forget to like and subscribe once again, and see you on the next one.